guys, welcome back to another video. It's Riley, and right now it is Friday morning. This video is going to be a day in my life. It's going to be a work day in my life. And like I said, it's Friday morning right now, so we are at the very end of our week. Thank goodness. I actually realized when I woke up this morning, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I really film all of these work days in my life on Fridays, and I don't even do it on purpose. I think I'm just really excited for the weekend, so I feel like really motivated, like I'm ready to just get through this week. And even if I have to wake up early to film a video and I'm really tired, at least it's Friday. So I think that's been my mentality. But because of that, I think I want to do like a Monday work day in my life or something like that, because I never film on Mondays. I also realized in some of my like week in my life videos or my work week in my life videos that I always start filming on Tuesday. I'm not even sure if I've ever included a Monday for a week in my life. So I do want to start filming more weeks in my life as well, rather than just days. But in the meantime, I really like doing these little day in my life videos and taking you guys into the office with me. So it is about 6:30 right now. And like I said, I just finished getting ready for the day, but we need to make our morning coffee. Okay guys, we are all ready for our morning. I have my morning coffee here. You already know this is my favorite part of my day, is having my morning coffee and that little bit of a break I get after I'm done getting ready and before I have to leave for work. I am actually going to continue editing a video. I am so excited. I got a new MacBook and it has been absolutely amazing. So before, I was filming these videos and I had to edit them on Garrett's old MacBook, which I'm very grateful that he even let me use. But it was from like 2017, I think, when he was still in college, and the sound started going out. So as I was editing my videos and I was like listening to myself speak, it was super muffled. I could like barely make out what I was saying sometimes. So the sound was all screwed up. It was also incredibly slow. So it would take like, no joke guys, like 10 hours to export a video, and then it was always out of storage. No matter how much I deleted off of it, somehow it was always out of storage. So I am really excited that I got a new MacBook, which means I can start getting videos out much faster. So I'm very excited. I've already gotten 3 videos out in less than 3 weeks, so I'm proud of myself for that. And yeah, I just wanted to update you guys. So stay tuned for more of these videos because they will definitely be coming your way, especially now. I also wasn't gonna say anything because I was embarrassed, but as I was making my morning coffee, I filmed a clip of myself turning on my Nespresso, and there's no coffee mug under the coffee machine. So I turned it on and it just started coming out, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I don't have a mug. And Garrett was cracking up. I was like, you know, I think I might delete that clip out. So I did. I deleted it already. Maybe I should have left it in as like a blooper, but I wanted to tell you guys because I wasn't even gonna bother saying anything, because I was like, that is so embarrassing. But happy Friday. It is that time, ladies and gents. It is time for us to head out. So I just need to get my lunch together, and we are going to take a coffee, of course. We're going to take a coffee with us to go. I was going to go over lunch today to a coffee shop, and I use these videos as an excuse to actually get out for lunch, leave the office, actually take a lunch break. And I like going to our little coffee shop in Venice. So we'll still plan on doing that, but because I'm having 2 coffees this morning, I don't know if I'm actually gonna get a coffee, but we'll see. Who knows? It is me, so maybe we'll end up with a 3rd coffee, but if not, we'll just get like a little bakery item or something. But anyways, I'm just babbling, so we need to hurry up and I need to get out the door. I think we're gonna switch it up a little bit though. I think we're gonna take an iced coffee with us. So instead of taking another hot coffee, I'm kind of feeling like an iced coffee because this is the first week that it's actually gotten warm. It's been a little bit chilly here for Florida weather, and this is the first week that we're actually back up in like the high 70s. So it's been beautiful out, and I think it is finally back to iced coffee weather. I remember to put a cup down this time under the coffee machine, and we're just using a Starbucks Christmas cup because that's all I have right now. Okay, I just realized that I haven't filmed my drive into work, going from our new place to work now. The last time I filmed myself driving to work, we were still at our old apartment. This drive is so much better now, guys. Like, my drive to work has improved so much. Also, sorry if you can hear my heat. I have to keep my defroster on because it's so foggy this morning. But yes, my drive into work is a million times better. I don't even have to get on the interstate anymore. It's so nice. I get to avoid the death trap that is 75. North and south, honestly, are both horrible. But just having a shorter commute, like my commute time now has been cut in half, which is so nice. And I don't have to get on the interstate, like I said. And it honestly, I'm so much happier that I can leave like 15 minutes later. I don't know why, but those 15 minutes make such a big difference. That on top of also my drive home. My drive home is so much better. The traffic in the morning would like occasionally be bad, but the drive home was always terrible, like so bad, just non-stop, just non-moving traffic the entire drive home. So now I'm so happy that literally my drive home I saved like 20 to 30 minutes. So now I feel like I don't even mind staying a little bit later at work because I know that my commute home is going to be so much shorter. So I feel like I'm still saving time even when I have to stay late, but it really does make a difference. Okay, I am going to focus on driving though. I want to get to work safely, and I will talk to you guys once I get there. I'm going to put on some worship music. I am going to get right with the Lord before I step into work today. I'm not sure exactly what my day is going to look like. I know that just like every other Friday morning, I do have an AR meeting. So I have to have my accounts receivable meeting with our team Chili Peppers, and the teams get to pick their own names, and they're the Chili Peppers, which I think is really cute. But we are going to start out from 8 to 9. I definitely have an AR meeting. I'm supposed to have another AR meeting, a second one, which is new. So we had a new TC, a new team coordinator, and a new estimator start a few weeks ago. Actually, probably a few months ago at this point, probably like 2 months ago, so a couple months ago. And they are now branching out on their own, so they formed their own team. So I have to step in and have an AR meeting with them as well, which kind of stinks only because it takes up my mornings from 8 to 9:30 every single Friday. Plus on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I have other AR meetings with other teams. So it just takes up so much of my time, but it is very important, and it's important to make sure that we're actually collecting money, and we're collecting on these jobs, and that the teams are doing their follow-ups, and if there's any way that accounting can assist, that we are assisting them. So that is what my morning looks like. My boss, the controller, he is only going to be logged on for a little bit this morning. He told me yesterday he is taking the rest of the day off. So it shouldn't be too crazy of a day. It's usually busier when he's there because I can actually ask him questions, but I told him it's nothing urgent. Any questions I have can just wait until Monday. Not a big deal. So I'm really hoping that it's not too overwhelming of a day. I feel like I say this consistently, but somehow it always ends up being really crazy busy, even though I constantly say, oh, it shouldn't be too bad today. But we'll see, and I will keep you guys posted throughout the day. We made it to the office. When I first got to the office, I got a text from our AP/accounting assistant that she is out with the flu. So I had to make sure our checks for accounts payable were mailed out this morning. Then I had my accounts receivable meeting right at 8 a.m. As always, I made sure the team has been doing their follow-ups to make sure we are making efforts to collect money on outstanding invoices. I make notes for myself so I know how I need to assist the teams. We'll go into further details later, but the biggest ways I assist with collections are sending invoices that are past due, I add interest to the overdue invoices, I file liens, and I send collection letters. After my meeting, I got started on emails. I had quite a few by the time I got done with my AR meeting around 9:30. I had a few emails regarding liens. Filing liens for homeowners versus filing liens for condo associations are a little bit different, so I reviewed with our team down south the difference and how they should explain the lien processes to the condo owners. I received another email regarding a lien that we may need to potentially file early next week due to not receiving payment. In the state of Florida, we only have 90 days from the last day we performed work on the job to file a lien. After getting through my emails, I worked on invoicing. Our invoicing process has quite a few steps, which is why you see my head moving all over the place, looking back and forth at my different screens. The team sent invoice requests to our invoices email. Then I create and post the invoices in our internal accounting software. Then I recreate the invoice in QuickBooks to be sent to the customer. So we don't actually use QuickBooks for our financial reports or for reconciling purposes. We use it strictly for sending invoices and also receiving payments. But then again, once we receive payments, those also need to be posted in our separate system we use for financial purposes. Once the invoice is sent, we receive a copy of the invoice that is automatically sent to the invoice's email, and I use that to notify the teams that their invoice has been sent and to add a copy of the invoice to their job. After invoicing, I logged into our eDocs to check on lien statuses. Liens have to be submitted to the appropriate county. Once submitted, it can take anywhere from a few hours to a few days to be officially recorded with the county. I even had one take 10 days to be recorded before. So once I know I have submitted liens, I check them periodically to make sure they are recorded in time. Again, they must be recorded within 90 days from our last day on the job. I have one that keeps getting rejected, so I had to Google the Florida statute and read it multiple times to figure out why it's not being accepted. I filed a lot of these liens, and this usually is not an issue. I'm still not exactly sure why it was getting rejected, but I made some minor changes and resubmitted the lien. Fingers crossed it gets recorded. On the plus side, we did have one lien that I submitted at the end of the day yesterday, and it did get recorded. I sent that over to our accounting assistant so she can mail out a copy to the owners of the property. I received a phone call from our collections specialist to discuss some jobs in further detail. There are a few homeowners who have been very unresponsive, even after collection efforts, and we are thinking we may need to escalate them to our controller and possibly legal team. Okay guys, we made it to lunchtime. We're halfway through the day, and I kind of had a busy morning. Like, my AR meeting just took a long time, which I'm totally fine with because the person that I have my AR meeting with every Friday is probably my favorite person that works there. So sometimes we just get to chatting and it takes us a little bit longer. We talked to like 9:30 this morning. A lot of it was about AR, don't get me wrong, but we also just get to chit-chatting sometimes. But the meeting went really well, and honestly the morning has kind of flown by, which I'm really excited about because I was worried I wasn't going to be super busy today, and that always just seems to make the day drag on, especially when you're looking forward to the weekend. So I'm really happy that the morning has gone by fast. I had a lot of emails to answer first thing this morning. You guys will hear me talk a lot about liens. I know I mentioned them this morning, and these liens have been what's been keeping me so busy. So basically we're at this stage now where we are filing liens on, we're getting to that 90-day mark that it's our deadline to file liens, and a lot of them are from Helene and Milton storms, which obviously working for a restoration company gave us a ton of work. So we have all of these jobs that are now coming up on lien rights all at the same time. So over the past, I'd say like 6 weeks, that has been what's been keeping me so busy. That, and then before that, it's been invoicing. So I feel like I've been filming these videos since the hurricanes first hit in like October, maybe even September. Actually, Debbie was September. So from September and October, we had 3 storms hit: Debbie, Helene, and Milton. It starts out with just being super busy with invoicing, but now that we're coming up on the collection time and lien rights, I'm the one responsible for preparing and filing all of the liens. So it has just been absolutely nuts. And it does take a really long time to file liens. It takes like probably an hour at the minimum for each one, because there is a lot of research involved. You have to make sure that everything's correct. The last thing you want to do is be filing a fraudulent lien, especially when it's my signature on them. So just making sure that the jobs are updated, and you know, we have signed contracts, all of that good stuff. It is really, really time consuming. And now we are coming up on our audit. So it's February 7th and our auditors are coming in March. So I believe that that's when the audit is going to start, is sometime in March. I have no idea when in March. So I don't know if that's 3 weeks from now or 6 weeks from now. I have no idea, but I guess we'll find out. I guess somebody will keep me posted at some point. But so that's going to start picking up, and it has just been an insane past few months. And I feel like I've been saying that in every single one of these videos, but it really is true. And just talking to the teams at work, they're all super busy still. So this is usually our slow time, obviously, when it's not hurricane season. And by this point, we're a few months out from hurricane season. So in past years, this is when we're really slow, and it just, we don't really seem to have a slow season anymore. It's just very backlogged from these storms that hit Sarasota directly and the surrounding areas directly. A lot of the places hadn't even recovered from Hurricane Ian fully, or they've just recovered from Hurricane Ian in 2022. So there's a lot of work to be done. We've been doing a lot of work, and just getting through these storms will be a miracle. I also feel like I didn't really introduce myself in this video yet. I know we're halfway through the day and I'm just now like, I don't think I introduced myself. I know I say my name in every video, obviously, but for those of you who don't know, I'm 27 years old and I live in Sarasota, Florida, and I work for a restoration company, and I am an assistant controller. So just to provide a little bit more background in case you haven't watched any of my other videos, I'm an assistant controller, and the company I work for is a restoration company, meaning that during storms, during hurricane season, that is definitely our busiest time. And we provide emergency services, we do dry outs, we do rebuilds, we do mold remediation, we do repairs, we do leak detection, a lot of stuff that results from these large storms. So it has been a very busy past few months. But going back to today, we had our AR meeting and I went through a lot of emails today, continuing to go through lien rights, staying caught up on invoices. That's a daily task. Phone calls just coming in from a lot of different people. And this afternoon, we still have to deposit checks. I know that I have to do a collection letter, I believe, for one of the teams from earlier this week that resulted from one of our AR meetings. And so far, that's all that I have on my list of things to do. I do have a list of some other things that I really need to get caught up on that I haven't been able to work on. So if we do end up having time for that, I would love to get caught up on some side things that will be coming up in the near future. But other than that, that's pretty much our day. I did decide not to go to the coffee shop that I mentioned earlier. I do show it in some of my other vlogs, and I'm sure we will go there in the next video. I usually try and go there on Fridays if I'm gonna go during the week. The reason why I'm not going right now is because I told you, but I had 2 coffees this morning. You guys saw. I had my hot coffee and then I brought an iced coffee to work with me, and I'm already feeling a little bit jittery. Now, I haven't eaten anything yet today, so maybe I'll feel better after lunchtime. I don't know. But truthfully, I just don't want to spend the 20 minutes on that round trip. Plus, it's been really busy the last few times I've went around lunchtime. I don't know why people decide to get their coffee at 1 p.m. every day, but that just seems to be what happens. So I decided against going today, and I kind of wanted to just enjoy my lunch and have a relaxing lunch versus spending it driving the whole time. So I'm probably just going to relax and eat lunch in my car, enjoy my lunch, and I will probably end up just watching some YouTube videos while I eat. And like I said, that's pretty much our day. So I'm going to enjoy my lunch now, and I will keep you guys posted on this afternoon. Pray, let's put out happy thoughts, good thoughts, positive thoughts, that this afternoon will go by very quickly and hopefully won't be too stressful. After lunch, I worked on preparing 3 collection letters for the teams. We send out collection letters usually when an invoice is 30 to 60 days overdue and the team has reasons for concern for collecting payment. I assist by drafting a letter explaining that their balance is due, plus an invoice with updated interest and collection fees, and I include all supporting documentation that I can find on the job. This requires researching the job and ensuring it is up to date and that we have all the necessary supporting documentation to send to the homeowners. I then drafted another lien. This one was a very large job, so before I actually file the lien, I'm going to send it to my boss, the controller, to review it, just to make sure all the info is accurate and the job is up to date. These liens for larger jobs usually take me about an hour to gather all the necessary information and to make sure the notes and dates and other details of the job make sense. My boss is actually out of the office today, so I saved the draft of the lien to send to him for review on Monday. After that, I went back to the invoices inbox. I had a few invoices to create and send out to customers, and I also had some credit memos to review, as well as a few JMF or job management forms to move labor hours and costs between jobs. I ended my day by working on fixed assets. I oversee all of our fixed assets here. As I mentioned earlier, we do have our audit coming up in March, so the pressure is on to get fixed assets up to date. With all of the craziness with the hurricanes in the last several months, I haven't had much spare time to work on fixed assets, but now it's becoming a priority again. So I printed out our GL listing for all of our asset accounts, and then I have to compare it to what we have in our fixed asset software. I know I'm missing some assets from November and December, again because of all the craziness that was happening in those months, so I need to make sure those get added. I'm only on page 1, and I already noticed a few journal entries that need to be made for assets that I have recorded in the fixed asset software, but that are missing from our GL detail. I also need to make sure we have all of the supporting documentation. This is handled by our 2 accounts payable employees, but I need to make sure I have the invoices, receipts, credit card charges, etc., all saved so they are easily accessible for our auditors. This is what I spent my last 2 hours of the day working on. Eventually, I'm going to have to also check our disposals as well. Our warehouse crew is also working on tracking all of our assets, so our larger pieces of equipment and all of our vehicles will need to be tracked. At some point, I need to do an expense review and review our expense accounts and make sure what was booked to expense actually belongs in expense and shouldn't have been capitalized. Oh, and depreciation. Can't forget about running depreciation. Fixed assets is a very tedious process that takes a lot of time, but I actually really enjoy overseeing it. Lastly, we did end up finally getting mail today. We only had 2 checks in the mail, which is really small for us, but also I was a little bit happy that it was less work for me to do at the very end of the day because it came so late. Okay, you guys, we did it. We made it through the week. Oh, it feels so good to finally be done. So I'm heading home now. The rest of the afternoon actually went by pretty slowly, I'm sad to say. I felt like I was really suffering. I think everybody went home early. So like all of management went home early. The owner, he's not there a lot, but like he was supposed to be here for the next few weeks just because things have been really busy and he's been trying to like straighten some things out with some of these jobs. So he was supposed to be here all week, but he was out because he's really sick. Half of the office is really sick and has been really sick. Like people have just been taking turns getting sick for probably the past like 4 weeks. Like it's been a solid month that people have gotten sick, and I feel like by some miracle I just haven't gotten sick yet, and I really hope that I don't. But it's been crazy. Like so many people have missed so much work. They've said as of right now people have tested positive for influenza A, influenza B, sorry the lighting is so crazy by the way, but influenza A, influenza B, some other stomach virus is also going around, respiratory viruses, pneumonia. 2 people have gotten pneumonia. Somebody tested positive for COVID. So it's just been a little bit of everything, and everybody has different symptoms and everybody has a different illness. It's been a little scary, not gonna lie. People have just been getting so sick. And I've heard that across the board, like not just in our office, but just in general. So stay safe out there. I hope you're all feeling well and don't get sick. I hope you don't. But anyways, the rest of the workday was pretty good. It was just, it just felt like it took forever. And it was one of those things where I had some time at the end of the day. At like 3 p.m. I kind of finished all of my like regular daily tasks. But then I wanted to work on fixed assets because like I mentioned before, it's coming up, our audit is coming up, and there's a lot that has to be done for it and a lot that I have to catch up on for it. So I was starting to get like a little bit nervous about getting it all done on time. But you know, it's 3 p.m. on Friday. The entire office has gone home except for me and our receptionist. So we're the only 2 left. Luckily, we sit right next to each other, but it just made it so hard to stay focused and to try and get work done. But I cranked through a lot of the review for fixed assets. I still have so much work to do on them, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I was at least able to be a little bit productive at the end of the day today. I'm honestly just so relieved and so happy that it's Friday, and I really can't wait to just sit back and enjoy the weekend. You guys, I just got home and Garrett is already making dinner and it looks amazing. He's making us chicken Alfredo. He's the best. Like, look at this. He's really chefing it up for us tonight. The best. Okay, you guys, that is going to wrap up this workday in my life video. Thank you so much for joining me. And next, I want to do a full week in my life, like a full work week in my life, I should say. Because I feel like even my other work week in my life videos, I've only filmed like 3 or 4 days. But I think we can do a full Monday to Friday work week. So we'll see. I'm going to start working on that. I'm going to keep this accounting content, work content, Florida content coming for you all. So make sure you stick around. Be sure to leave me a comment. I love your guys' comments. Seriously, they make my day. I love it so much and I love responding to you and interacting with you. So definitely leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe to stick around for more. And I love you all so much. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.